And the notion of outsourcing, obviously, is not just about your being clear about what you're going to outsource in terms of your journalism. It's also your technology. Let's face it, if you're a newspaper group, your technology sucks. So outsource it. I mean, when I first arrived at the Telegraph, I was surprised to see that we had a 130-person technology department. And the process was that you put in a change request, you ask for a new function to be built, and people would go away and they just literally try and build it. And usually what happens is the product never appeared. So we've taken a more radical approach. We've sort of reduced by more than half our technology department without reducing the total budget of that department. And now it's about curating your technology, to use that phrase. And curation is a very skilled task, understanding, picking out the exact right partner, whether it's an editorial partner or technology partner that fulfills your particular need. But the key thing about the network economy is you get better service at a cheaper price. And so that's got to be the way to go. So what does this mean in terms of the economies for in the digital sphere? On the left-hand side, you've got the newspaper cost base, and it's staggering to see that 60% typically of newspaper costs, at least in Europe, are industrial, i.e. manufacturing and distribution. 60%. These are newspaper groups are industrial businesses, not only in the way they operate, but also where their costs are spent. Then you've got IT and offices, sales and marketing 10%, editorial about 25%. In a network economy, you shouldn't be cutting back on the 25% of your cost base as editorial. Sure, you should be restructuring it, more of it should be curated, but you should also be spending more on your premium content, but you shouldn't be looking to cut back that pot. That is what defines the product that you are. On the other hand, you can get rid of the manufacturing and distribution costs. You can cut back on the IT spending by better curation with working with better partners. And sales and marketing, at least theoretically, you could completely outsource to a partner like Google. So the issue here is companies, CEOs of newspaper groups tend to get fixated by how can we raise revenues to the level of the newspaper. That's the wrong point. That's the wrong question to be answering. The answer is you probably can't. You probably need to be increasing your rate of revenue growth at about 35% per annum for 10 years typically to reach the level of a newspaper group. That's before the recession's kicked in. It might take a bit less than that time now. Is that going to happen? One or two web operations may succeed. Most of them won't. But that isn't the point. In a digital economy, in a network economy, your costs come right down. Back to Jeff's point about the guy in the car filing from the car. And you don't actually need to be thinking about something as radical as not having a newsroom. There's the whole industrial side of the operation. And to end on a sort of more positive note, the good news is we're doing a lot of things right. Some figures released this morning back in London in the UK showed that the top 5 newspaper websites for the first time reached more than 100 million global unique users. That's a big number. They are already becoming, newspaper groups, global networks. Our own traffic has has tripled in the past 18 months. If you take the BBC is now the number 4 website here in the US.
Where does that number come from? It makes no sense compared to anything I've ever seen.
The BBC in the US.
Where does that number come from?
This is the discussion and comment part of the process.
Yeah. I'll get back to you. I don't know.
As Ms. Palin would say.
Yeah. I mean, with respect, I don't think that's the point. The issue here is news organizations going very fast. According to the audited figures this morning, more than 100 million uniques. But certainly by the BBC's own estimates, there are big presence here in the US. And British journalism, which has been landlocked for more than 300 years, at least newspaper journalism, what it turns out is it's a mass market export product. The combination of high-quality news and provocative views works around the world. Alexa, you probably don't trust that. That's the source. So to finish on this note, what are the things to focus on? It's your premium editorial. That's what's going to define your brand. And cutting back on the salami-cutting reduction in costs around newsrooms around the world is a very dangerous way to go. If you continue to do that, you don't have any more premium content. To use the Jack Welch approach, what Jack Welch would be doing in this moment right now is he'd be investing more in your premium content, however you define that. It's about outsourcing to the rest, and that's a very skilled task. Curation is a very skilled task, a very underrated task. Picking out the right partners, not only in terms of your technology, but also in terms of your editorial. that gives you the sum, that gives you the whole, a product that's probably cheaper to produce and also, almost certainly, of a higher quality. And lastly, organizations should be focusing on profit, not revenue. The days of trying to match these very high-level profits for sort of large newspaper groups is over. On the other hand, a fleet-footed, sort of low-cost, high-quality organization can, in the future, I believe, be very profitable. Thank you very much.